Good, live, feels live, and we're off. Day 38 of the year of streaming and learning to code. Today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2017. And we are a third of the way through deploying a website. You know what? I think... supposed to sign up for GitHub. I can open another window, and that won't stream it. Right? I think, mostly. You know what, we're gonna figure it out on the fly. Yesterday's was, what's a good word? Tragic is about the most optimistic word that I can think of for yesterday's results. But with that said, I'm pretty sure Section 2 should be a clean slate. Moving on from there. So let's dive into that. Deploy your website with Git. Back to page 1. And we shall read. Alright. Well, we'll play their little video, which is picking a username, email address, password, and signing in. Hopefully. Feels like the longest 17 seconds ever. 12, 14. And it just choked. 17, we're done. Huzzah. Alright. We be learning. There are many different ways to deploy a website to the public internet. In this unit, we'll use GitHub pages. I don't know why I put a space between GitHub. It's just GitHub. GitHub pages to deploy your website. GitHub Pages is a service offered by GitHub. Specifically, GitHub Pages are public web pages that are hosted and published through GitHub. Why GitHub Pages? In the last unit, we generated a site using Jekyll, sort of. GitHub Pages offers an extensive integration and setup for Jekyll. By using both, you'll benefit from easy setup, troubleshooting your site, updating and maintaining your site. No, remember, it is possible to follow all the steps outlined in this course with your own content. Just make sure that your HTML is inside of a file called index.html, a GitHub page, a GitHub Pages requirement. Okay, instructions. To successfully deploy your website, you will need a GitHub account. In your browser, start a new tab to navigate to github.com. Create an account. If you already have a GitHub account, continue to the next exercise. What? Continue to the next exercise within here? Is it next? Or like section 3 of the course? Ambiguous. Do we move the time machine bi-monthly? Twice a week? Or twice a month? Or once every 2 months? Anywho, if you already have a GitHub account, continue to the next exercise. After signing up, be sure to verify your email address. I really should have just done all this prior to the stream, but this is part of the fun. This is what day 38 entails. You know? The truth. It's ugly. Note, the content to the right is a video. Glad they let us know that. You can play the video if you'd like to view a demonstration of the instructions. You'll come across more videos like this throughout the rest of the course. Let's do section 2. It's all step-by-step stuff. Fascinating. In order to publish your site using GitHub Pages, you'll need to create a repository. Repo? on GitHub. A GitHub repository is an online central storage place where you can store files, and all the versions of those files will use the repo. Why don't they just say repository? They're saving themselves like 6 letters, if even. We'll use the repo you create to store the contents of your website. Your repo's name must also follow GitHub's page's naming convention, otherwise your site will not publish at all. Specifically, the repo's name must be in the following format: your username.github.io. In the example above, you would replace your username with your actual GitHub username. Again, in our browser, in your own browser, create a new repo, this repository that irks the ever-living out of me. Create a new repo in your GitHub account and name it accordingly to the GitHub page's naming convention, as in the example above. Note, for this course, do not initialize your repo with a readme. If you do, you may run into errors later in the course. We're gonna hit play. 33 seconds of glory. Let's see what happens. Plus, create new repository. They don't have repo on there. Username CC, repository name, whatever username is, .git, github.io. Description, my personal website. Public, private. None and none, fire away. Quick setup, if you've done this kind of thing before, or create new repository on the command line, readme, which they said don't do for now, or push an existing repository from the command line. Git push, okay, we've used that command before, or import code from another repository. You can initialize this repository with Subversion or other fun stuff. Okay, I'm gonna do the third section. We're gonna set it up. We will, but we're just, baby steps. Great. Now that you've created a repository with the proper naming convention, let's upload your site to GitHub. We'll use Git to upload the contents of your site's directory to your new repo. To do so, we'll first initialize a Git repository in your site's directory. In the terminal to the right, open a new tab. Then use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. Believe you. New tab, which is more bash. We've got bash and bash. We're just going to stick with the 1. 2, now that you're inside of your site's directory, initialize a Git repository. That! What the hell? Codecademy. Use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. What the deuce are they referring to? Copy. Alright, alright. Let's look at you. I should do command line, or I should type in Codecademy. Codecademy. Blah. Possibly. Just given up on loading. Too many sites. Too many sites. Close out of the fun. Closing, closing. Da, 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 da. All right, good. Loaded. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, look at that. Help on lesson 3. Yeah, you don't. Look at that. Look at that list of command line codes. Okay, we're getting somewhere. 3, 4 can't. Something or other. More loading. Lots of. Come on, interwebs. You can do it. Page 3-7 error. Can't figure out how to get CD. All it says, use the CD command. Right? I'm not the only dude. If there's a whole page, why don't they address this? Okay. Be happy. It's a free resource. Contain yourself, Stephen. Be better than the Gap. Page 3-7. Error. You can't figure out how to get the CD. All it says is use the CD command to navigate to your site's directory. I've tried all forms of CD I could think of. Error just says navigate to your personal website directory using CD. Not sure what to do here. You'll have to start by deciding what it is you want to do. Already want to push that guy. That's okay. You have to decide, you have to start by deciding what it is you want to do. The same actions as when you're in a graphical file explorer are available, and far more. Less frustrated. This is good. You just have to decide what, and then you can start thinking about how to write that. Perhaps you'd like to know where you are and where that directory is. How can you do those things? Do the command, dude. Thanks for replying. This is my first time playing with any of these commands or this website at all. So right now, the only goal is passing this course and learning how to deploy a website on GitHub. I don't know what to type in at all for using the CD command. Yeah, see? This dude right here? Same thing. This face. We still feel this. Zero help. All of this could be condensed into 3 words. Think about it. One thing about it, punching that dude in the throat. Sorry. Thanks for replying. This is my first time. Right now, my only goal is for passing. I apologize. I'm frustrated too. On the inside. It's an emotional frustration. We've got the... hold on, still reading. I'm about as threatening as a lamp or a stapler, so, you know. Take my frustration with a grain of salt, right? Alright, I don't know what to type in at all for using the CD command to navigate to your... Okay, but do you know what actions you need to do that? CD and wherever you want to go. CD is change directory, and we're trying to get there. You need to figure out where you are, where that other directory is, and how to move from one directory to another. That's what the CD command is for. You have to consider what you want to happen before you can start figuring out how to type that. We want to move to the directory. We need to change directories. CD, change to directory. It should, ideally, something like that. And we tried CD DAW last night. That didn't work. Okay, but we're still going through. I'd like to know 0 likes, 1 like. Oh, well, that's the dude of the issue. 0 likes, 0 likes again, followed by 6 likes. Just an observation. Jekyll new personal website CD get initialized. That's got 7. Fascinating. Maybe it was the initialize that we missed out. We'll keep reading. Still frustrating. I gave up. Just venting. Just venting. Alright. Good. Totally forgot. Alright. You need to figure out where you are, where that other directory is, and how to move from one directory to another. You have to consider what you want to happen before you can start figuring out how to type that. And then, when you've figured out what to do, you can search for that with a search engine. Somebody else will have asked the same thing. I think it's just frustrating because I've done customer technical support before, and I mean, I can be pretty clueless, but that's it feels not helpful. Got what I mean, right? Guys, I found a way around the error. All you have to do is first go to home cc user workspace DAW directory /directory, then go to personal website cd home user workspace DAW cd. What's their reply? Thanks, man, this actually works. So he did all that noise, and then he did cd personal website. Remember the previous exercise where it asked you to create a directory? You need to go there first. In order to know your current location or directory, type in dir in the command line. You will see there the directory /directories that you've created. From there, type cd. If you've been strictly following the instructions, that would be cd personal website. And I know for damn sure we did cd personal website. We did mess up and do something else before that. Maybe that threw off the whole thing. But it said that directory doesn't exist, so I figured nothing happened. Maybe that's wrong on my part. But I know we did try cd personal website, and then we tried cd DAW. Maybe we screwed the pooch by doing cd and whatever the wrong thing was first, and it returned that directory doesn't exist. Hey, I had to create the directory once more. pwd Jekyll new personal website cd personal website get initialize. That works, thanks. Didn't work. $sign get initialize. Reinitialize existing Git repository in home user website /git. But didn't turn green, can't go further. Thanks. Lots of help. Didn't work. Lots of complaining and frustration. I think we've extracted as much knowledge from that page as possible. List of command line commands. Doubles, arrows, bash profile, aliases, cd. Make directory. pwd prints the name of the working directory. Worse. Yeah, not feeling anything in there. Initialize your repository. Hey, I'm trying what section? 3 of 7. Deploy a website. In the terminal to the right, open a new tab, then use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. I'm trying to navigate to my site's directory and then do git initialize, but I can't. Can somebody help me? I have a screenshot on how I was doing it. Please, someone help. Samuel solved. Ionitan? I don't know how to say the name. Apparently the dude helped this time. No? I don't know why it says solved by this dude, but replies and other stuff down here. Trying to navigate to my site's directory. Not sure why I'm having trouble. Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't help me. Full screen. Let's take a gander. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, not helpful. LS CC user. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. Alright. Please try opening a new terminal and git initialize a fresh before you cd. You could see it worked at first. Try this. Hi, thanks for replying to my problem. I tried open a new bash tab and straight away I tried to navigate to me directory, yarg. But it won't let me do it. See screenshot, what am I doing wrong? Alright. No, I suggested to git initialize before CD. Liken it to your car, you need to start before you can even change car's direction. So initialize first, before that. The repository you are targeting, the CD, doesn't seem right. Please ensure the git directory is correct. Then I need to apologize. Please do the following steps in a new terminal. Change start Jekyll for your target. CD start Jekyll git initialize. There's just a lot of confusion here. There was a suggestion to create a git repository immediately when entering the shell, but there should not be a git repository in the directory that you start in. Need to find out if it's the right place first. Gotta decide what to do before doing it. Gotta know where we're running our commands. I don't understand what the solution thing is. You did enter a correct path to that directory and bashed move you there. You can tell by that it gave you no output. It is silent on success. However, it did not trigger Codecademy's checkpoint because it isn't looking at what effect your command has. It's looking at what you type. What the exercise's author expects you to do is to just specify personal website to CD, which it will interpret as go to that subdirectory of the current directory. It's a relative path starting from your current position. So that's what we did. So we were supposed to get all that red stuff. I mean, we got the green checkboxes. Maybe everyone else wasn't getting the green checkboxes. I guess that's the issue. I don't know if it's for this section or for the last section. I thought there were 8 in the last section. I keep saying 7. We're going in circles. This is painful. This is day 38. Death. 5.1 preview your local site. Aha! Check this out. Alright. Hi, I can't understand what I'm supposed to do in this exercise. I've tried every CD command, but nothing happens. This dude keeps getting a red checkbox. We got a green one. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Not helpful. But the instructions are to go into the site's directory. That might not be the same as your home directory, which is what you get when you run CD with no arguments. Well, that dude's clearly confused. He needed to do, what was it, CD website, right? Something like that? CD server? Can't remember. We got the bad gateway, but we got a green checkbox. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Sounds like you know what to do. I can't seem to progress. Can't figure this out. New posts were split to a new topic. All right, there's that. I don't know what you're supposed to do, but the instructions are to go to the site's directory. That might not be the same as your home directory. What you get when you run cd with no arguments. Hi, it sounds like you know what to do. I can't seem to progress through the page even though I've got the Jekyll site to run. I've changed the directory to personal website. cd home workspace dot personal website, then ran Jekyll server, but the error message still keeps on telling me to use cd to navigate to my personal website directory. Syntax I'm using correct. Where's the response for this? I need help on this too. Then perhaps you'll want to ask about it. What the does that mean? I've explained what I think is wrong in the screenshot. If that's not sufficient, you'll have to keep asking. What the? It's okay. It's cool. That's fine. I'm just confused. We're on a different page, communication-wise. This is from a year ago. These aren't my questions. I haven't provided screenshots. I know there is a clear... There's a clear, direct command or list of commands that can be put in to the terminal within Codecademy that will complete the section or the task, the instruction, resulting in a green checkbox. That's one. And two, it should get the site to run, not the 502 bad gateway error. And I know everyone can name a different thing, but most everyone is using personal website or whatnot. So I don't know. I feel like the answer should be right there. I don't know why no one's just like dropping it in like this cd personal website, but that still results in the 502 death. Okay. There's more. It seems like he's been replying and dropping in commands, or she, could be a she. Hi, it sounds like you know what to do, can't seem to progress through the Jekyll site. I've changed personal website, ran, the error message. Is the syntax I'm using correct? I think that checkpoint ignores what actually happens and just looks at what you entered. Try cd personal website. Shouldn't even matter if that's a useful command from your current working directory. You just need to have that entered. Yeah, that completes the activity, but that doesn't fix the gateway thing. Thanks, mate. It's interesting. I get the green ticks now, which is good, but the code actually doesn't load the locally hosted website. Anyway, thanks. Yeah, exactly. There's still a friggin' issue. Thanks, mate. That's interesting. Thanks anyways. Yeah, if you just enter the right commands, but in the wrong situation, or it fails for some other reason, you should be getting an output similar to this. Jekyll server, file configuration, disabled, generating, done, enabled, blah, blah, blah. All he copied this bit. All he had to do was copy from here on. It's cd personal website and Jekyll server and something else. Like, he could have just put those, whatever commands he typed to get this is all he needs to post. I think I have a big problem because mine says Jekyll server configuration none, site, incremental build disabled, generating build warning, layout post doesn't exist, liquid exceptions, error code, cd personal website, bash personal, something is wrong. Thanks. You are good. How you're good at that? They're just getting confused. What the deuce? Looks like you're enjoying the discussion, but you're not signed up for an account. You can create an account. You remember exactly what you read, so you always come back right to where you left off. You also get a note. What the? It just stops at the actual issue? Are you kidding me? Who is driving this ship? Holy hell. Death. Death, death, death. Let's see what other we can see. Does anyone else find that frustrating? No, no one else has an issue with this. Everyone thought that this is all fine and dandy. Whatever, moving on. Moving on. We've been dwelling long enough. For as terrible as her error code was, it actually seems like, as bad as I thought yesterday was, it seems like we actually did good. It seems like that's what the successful people are experiencing, is a green checkbox, error codes. Also, if you're getting multiple people experiencing the same thing, then either one, there's an issue with the instructions because everyone's doing the same thing, or there's an issue with the environment, which everyone is experiencing. There's a common denominator here, or multiple common denominators, and leading to an error. Throwing that out there. Let me know if you guys need assistance with that. Again, I just find it frustrating because I come from, I guess, technical support, customer-facing technical support for usually basic things, but some in-depth things, and this is a basic fix. Hi, M key. It asks, in the terminal to the right, open a new tab, use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. In those two sentences, start at the beginning and tell me at which point you lose understanding of the words. Are you kidding me? There's not enough words to discuss my frustration right now. Judy. Spend my days providing IT support. Hold on. Just a moment. Alright. Crises averted. Oh, death. Is anyone else experiencing this? Alright. It asks, in the terminal to the right, open a new tab. Then use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. It's like they didn't do the activity, like they haven't gone through the activity themselves. Also, which exercise are you working on? I've only experienced it yesterday, yet I have a vast understanding that everyone's experiencing all the same issues. I just don't understand. I don't know, maybe they don't work for code. Maybe it's just a community thing. It could just be a community thing, but I feel like there would be more people than just the community. Like assistance from Codecademy themselves. Maybe that's not the way it works. But I feel like it should be. I feel like there should be overwatching technical support to help guide. I'm asking for too much. It's a free site. But anywho. I don't even want to read because I'm still so frustrated. That's alright. Mentally. I don't know if it's frustration. Concern? Confusion? Regarding their purpose in life? In the universe? Let's not be too harsh. Alright. Hi, Femkey. In those two sentences, start at the beginning. They've got zero customer support. I know they're definitely not customer support. No one would do that. Can you imagine if you were checking into a hotel and someone is like, can you figure out which room you want and then get back to me so I can check you in? Right? Who does that? No one does that. Except for something refuge. Oh, God. It's okay. This is fun. This is what fun looks like. This is good. In those two sentences, it's unbelievable to me. In those two sentences, start at the beginning, tell me at which point you lose the understanding of the words. Then we can get you on track. Also, which exercise are you working on? And that's where it ends on. That's the bottom of that. Good. Good. I need help. Well, why don't you figure out what to do with your life? And then check back in, right? That's what I recommend to people. Need a punch in the throat? Or someone to kick you while you're down? I spend my days providing IT support to a wide variety of people at a Canadian university. I'm happy to be here at Codecademy, helping new coders get over bumps on their way to their coding adventures. Uh-huh. Well, it looks like there's a lot more recent stuff 11 hours ago, I suppose. So that was from... Maybe they just didn't know how to assist. That's June 2016. Maybe they were new to Codecademy then. Maybe their customer support or, what's the word? Their rapport with new and upcoming coders has improved. It's probably improved. Has to have. See? That's handy. Straightforward. The attribute should be href. Bit of reading about this over here. This is better. This is better. It was probably just new stuff. Yeah, there's lots more fun that we can get our hands on. They're a busy bee trying to help. Which link do I delete? A bit hard to help because you posted your question in the community forum. Go back to the exercise that you're having trouble with and follow the link from there. the correct forum. Someone over there will be happy to help. Guiding people to the correct page on a forum is helpful. I'm just still shocked at that other one. I don't know. We're moving on. Okay, lesson 3. Deploy a website. So many issues with this. So few answers. Deploy a website. Codecademy is the easiest way to learn how to code. It's interactive, fun, and can do it with your friends. There is no error. I'm just an idiot and can't figure out what it means. In the first part, where it says, use CD to navigate, I'm pretty sure I used that exact phrase myself last night describing myself. We'll use Git to push upload contents to your site. To do so, first initialize the Git repository to your site's directory. Maybe it was the initialize part that I missed. In the terminal to the right, open a new tab, then use cd command. To do so, we will first initialize a Git repository in your site's directory. You know what? I think we've come across another example where the instructions for the first part actually begin in the learning section. I'm drawing a blank on which section it was before, but we had experienced this a couple times. Maybe it was in the make a website. Or SAS. But there was a course in the catalog where throughout the section they kept doing that, and I pointed it out too, because it was confusing. Step 1 in the instructions was not actually step 1. It was in the learning section, which made it kind of confusing. But only because I'm crawling through Codecademy at a snail's pace, licking every single phrase. Do I notice all this kind of stuff? Have you taken the Learn a Command Line course? If not, I'd recommend doing that before this. I'm assuming you don't know how to use CD. If it's used to change the directory you're in, you'd use CD, whatever directory you need to go to. They've got a whole thing, .git. That's interesting. That's actually helpful. Someone should hire this guy. Super user. Hell yeah, I agree with that. Reese Crypto. You're a good egg. You are a good egg. The Netherlands. Cool. What's there to say when you stay at home all day? My strong suits are HTML5 and CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Sass, Java, Git, and I know a bit of Python. Fun. Also, recently helpful-ish, January 14th, and other such times. Nice, handy. Well, that didn't exactly solve our stuff, but it was a good step in the right direction with the stuff. That little bit. We've got one more before we dive into GitHub and sign up for an account. Welcome Codecademy, discuss community forums, creating a static website using Jekyll, deploy your website. Death. Can't believe I've had to do this much digging, but that's fine. This is part of the fun. It's easy though. This is one of the easy courses. Just wait till we actually get confused doing something that's difficult and requires skill and intellect. Yeah, that's going to be brutal. That's when we get to do the hours of research to figure out what's wrong with our life. Create a static and deploy a website. 2 of 7. Yada da 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 da. Two new topics in the past month. 7 new topics in the past month. About to create a static website using Jekyll. Not letting me type in the terminal. Triggered at computer. Jekyll does not work. Can't get past part 6. Not letting me type. Don't understand what the ls command is. When it says use cd, I don't know what to do. Keep receiving message bash personal website command not found. No idea how to get past it. In general, applies activity. I guess past part 4. Open link. Type. Terminal won't open. Preview your site locally using Jekyll server. My problem with deploy a bash website's bash shell. Can't get past part 6. I don't know my question. I keep reading the instructions over and over. I don't understand. Please tell me what to do. Replace this line with your code. I'm not sure how they're actually confused with that bit, but good. Good. What the deuce is 37? 37 clicks. Son of a... Not important. Close. This is so painful. What seems to be the problem? Hey! He did good. What did this cat do? Jekyll. New personal website. New Jekyll site installed. He did some caret thing in C. ls. Your in personal website. cd. Personal website. Jekyll server. So I think I screwed the pooch when I did something else. Was it cd directory? Or did I do, oh god, clawing at the mic. Totally losing control over my body. Alright, that's gotta be decent. I did, what did I do? I did cd http localhost something or other. And that must have thrown it off. That must have pulled us out of the personal website directory or file that we were in. And then, but I did cd back to personal website, but it must not have pulled us back. I must have totally thrown something off. But it's good to know that that's what it looks like on the right side. The Your Awesome title, the post, and welcome to Jekyll. So that's what it should look like. What seems to be the problem? Exactly. There's no issue. So good to know. You just did cd personal website Jekyll server. And then it spits out all that fun stuff. Okay. If we need to backtrack, we at least know what it should look like. And that was a quick section. We can obviously redo section 1 if need be. Replace this line with your code. That's a statement. There's nothing to reply to. Yeah, that's true. They get half credit for that, but I still not impressed. I am stack on part 6 of deploy website. I'm getting the following error message. cd blah no such file or directory. That's because they just did cd, which brought them to home. We have learned. Alright, I think we've solved that no one is actually going to provide us with that line. With that said, I'm going to close out of all of this nonsense. List of commands. Screw that noise. F that noise. Good. Are you still there? Get back to coding. Hell yeah. Still there. Do my thing. Sure. I need to sign up for GitHub. Don't mind me, since I'm going to be doing password stuff. I'm just going to open another window. Can you cats see that? You can't see. Good. Good. That's hot. Hot. GitHub. So you get to hear me yammer to myself. You've made it this far. I've been yammering to myself this whole time. GitHub. Help people build software. We're gonna go to back to page 1, because this is what I'm looking at now. Good. Good. This is what I'm looking at. Pick a username. Ooh, tough choice. Are we able to claim the link, email address, like normal? Gmail. Cool. Good. Sign up. Issues. There was a problem creating your account. Username. Login may only contain alphanumeric characters or single hyphens and cannot begin or end with a hyphen. Typical. Let's do Huh? Yeah, yeah. Green check boxes. Good. That's kosher. You'll love GitHub. Unlimited collaborators, unlimited public repositories, great communication, frictionless development, open source community. Nice. Yeah, da 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 dee 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 dee. Yeah, da 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 da. Signing up. Signing up. Unlimited public repositories for free. Unlimited private repositories for $7 a month. Don't worry, you can cancel your upgrade at any time. Help me set up an organization next. Organizations are separate from personal accounts and are best suited for businesses who need to manage permissions for new employees. Ooh. Now, I can probably do that in the future, but open link in Notepad. Yeah, da 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, da 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 da. What to do? That's a toughie. Well, let's take this bit. Copy. And might as well share the fun. Okay, so we're trying to figure out, they have a thingy where you can either create a personal account or an organization account. We're trying to assess if I want to set up an organization account or not. How do I access my organization account? Does it take us to a different page? It does. Not cool, bro. Not cool. 1, 2, 3, and 4. How do I access my organization account? To access your organization account that you're a member of, you must sign into your personal user account. Tip: only organization owners can see and change the account settings for an organization. In the top right corner of GitHub, click on your profile photo, then click your profile. On the left side of your profile page, under organization, click the icon for your organization. Okay, your profile, close. Then when we're in, on the left side of your profile page under organization, click organizations. Do I do that? Do I be that guy? Everything else that I've been setting up, contact a human. That is awesome. That's great. I feel like it's gonna be a just Steven thing, but I've been planning my tiny empire around the fact that it is functioning, despite how small it is, still an empire. Kind of feel like I should set up an organizational account, or an account with the organization status. What are the different account permissions? Well, you can grant read and write access to collaborators on a personal repository. Members of an organization can have more granular access permissions of the organization's repositories. User accounts. A repository owned by a user has 2 permission levels: the repository owner and collaborators. For more information, see permission levels for a user account repository. Organization accounts. Organization members can have owner, billing manager, and member roles. Owners have complete administrative access to your organization, while billing managers can manage billing settings. Member is the default role for everyone else. For more information, see permission levels for an organization and repository permission levels for an organization. Further reading, what's the difference? Kind of sounds like I want to do that. What's the difference between, didn't we do? What are the different access permissions versus what's the difference between user and organization accounts? Isn't that a thing? Didn't we just click? I don't know. Clearly it's different. It's a different link, different title, but I still feel like that's addressing the same issue. Alright. User accounts. Meh. Permission level for users. Open new. Permission levels for an organization. Did this rabbit hole go any further? This is an extreme tangent from setting up. At least we've made it into GitHub. We're still setting up the account. Hopefully it doesn't cancel out and give up on me. I'm just trying to figure out what to do. What's the difference between organization users, organization accounts? Your user account is your identity on GitHub. Your user account can be a member of any number of organizations, regardless of whether personal. Every person who uses GitHub has their own personal account. These accounts include unlimited public, paid plans, ability to invite tips. It may be tempting to have more than one user account, such as personal use, business use, but you only need one for more information. Managing multiple user accounts. User accounts are also intended for humans, but you can give one to a robot, such as a continuous integration bot if necessary. Organizations are great for businesses and large open source projects that need multiple owners and admins. They include paid plan. Oh, they include a paid plan with unlimited private repositories, team-based, unlimited owners, billing, receipts that can be sent to a second email address, owner teams, and two-factor authentication. Hell yeah. All about 2FA. For life, yo. Where it's at. Okay. Merging multiple user accounts. We haven't even started using GitHub. This is basically what I did when I learned to play Magic. Yeah. First time I played Magic, I did like an 8-hour binge, and like 6.5 hours of it was me reading. Well, probably the first like 4 hours was me reading the instructions. Like I didn't play my first game for probably like the first at least 3.5 to 4 hours. It was ridiculous. It was glacial. But this is all part of the fun. Alright, merging multiple user accounts. If you have a separate account for work and personal use, you can merge the accounts. We recommend using only one user account to manage both personal and professional repositories. Transfer any repositories from the account that you want to delete to the account you want to keep. Issues, pull requests, and wikis are transferred as well. Verify the repositories exist on the account you want to keep. Verify the repositories exist on the account you want to keep. That makes way more sense. That's what the S is for. 2, update the remote URLs in any local clones of your repositories that were moved. And 3, delete the account you no longer want to use. What's the difference? Which we have open somewhere. Permission level. Permission levels for user repository. Oh, so much fun. Alright. The fun never stops. Determine to learn permission levels For a user account repository, a repository owned by a user account has two permission levels, the repository owner and collaborators. If you require more granular read-write access, repositories owned by your user transferring to an organization. How to transfer? Aha. That's been my main question. There's only one owner of a repository. This permission cannot be shared with another user. To transfer ownership of a repository. How to transfer? See? That's been my concern, is if I can start as a user and then change to an organization, but I feel like I should start as an organization now. Because as a user account, you can obviously function as a user, but you can't function as an organization, where if we were to sign up as an organization, I would still be able to function as a user with an organization account. But can't go the other way. You can go downstream, can't go upstream. Forking a repository is not the same thing as transferring it. Remember that, kids. Forking just creates a copy of the original repository. You create a new repository under the account. Was there another human in this room? Did she leave already? Hey, little cat, you moved from the receiver. Alright. I think my better half has already left. Alright. Totally sidetracked. What? Ah, yes, the anti-forking campaign. Abstinence, apparently, is what they want us to focus on. Forking isn't the real deal. Before you transfer a repository, keep things in mind. When the current owner initiates the transfer, the new owner will receive an email giving the option to accept or reject. Blah, 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 blah. If the new owner doesn't accept the transfer within 1 day, it won't complete. The target account must have a repository with the same name or a fork in the same network. The original owner of the repository is added as a collaborator on the transferred repository. Other collaborators and collaborators to the transferred repository remain intact. Private forks can't be transferred. What's transferred with the repository? This is incredibly nitty-gritty. Really not looking. Get clone, fetch, push, get remote. I think we've seen and used all of those. Transferred repository uses get large file storage. Hey, cool. Purchasing additional storage and bandwidth for a personal account. We're far from that, but why the hell not read it? We're, 45 tabs deep. Might as well keep going, right? We're bound to reach China at some point. Purchasing additional storage and bandwidth for a personal account. Purchasing additional data packs. Increase your monthly bandwidth quota and total storage capacity for your personal account. For more information, versioning large files. Not clicking on that. Don't care. In the upper right of the page, click your profile photo, then click settings. Your user settings sidebar, click billing. Get LFS data, purchase more, enter the number of the data packs you'd like to add to your account. Each pack costs $5 per month and provide 50 gigabytes of bandwidth and 50 gigabytes for storage. Confirm your new monthly block, click purchase. Lovely, lovely. We'll click on the photos, and we're looking. Settings, billing, purchase more. How many data packs? $5 a month. And, yeah, cool, good. We have totally lost track of what we're actually doing. Organization, permission levels for an organization. After you create an organization, you should give owner permissions to a small group of people who will manage the organization account. Organization members can have owner, billing manager, and member roles. Owner have the complete administrative access to your organization. This role should be limited to a few people in your organization. For more information, see the changing a person's role to owner. Ooh, sounds deadly. This is like Clash of Clans when you decide to make someone a co-leader instead of, Jesus, I'm totally drawing a blank. Everyone would ask for something. God. Thank God I forgot that. I would check that game like hourly. It was so bad. I was hooked on that and I hated that game. Wouldn't even attack. I would just manage my base. It was a long-term, slow, just farming and getting coinage, golden elixir. Fighting was lame, but base management, that was awesome. Setting up awesome base layouts. We are on a freakish tangent here. I don't even know if we're gonna make it back to the lesson. We are beyond out of the orbit. We've broken free from orbit. We're just floating aimlessly through space now. Okay, we're so close. We're on the edge of all the information we were actually looking for. Owners have complete administrative access to the organization. Billing managers allow a person to manage billing settings. For more information, adding a billing manager to your organization, don't care. Members are the default role for everyone else. Owners get to do everything. Members get to create teams and other such nonsense. And there's a billing manager who gets to do billing stuff and can't do anything else. Outside collaborators. Keep your organization data secure while allowing access to repositories. You can add outside collaborators. Outside collaborator is a person who has access to one or more organization repositories but is not explicitly a member of the organization, such as a consultant or temporary employee. For more info, see adding outside stuff, converting your organization member to an outside collaborator, removing an outside collaborator, repository permissions, about improved organization, blah. Oh, we're so close to the end. Repository permissions for an organization. People with owner or team maintainer roles can manage repository access with teams. Each team can have different repository access permissions. I'm going to need to rename this whole section like a deep dive on GitHub permission levels, because my god, this has turned into an endless escapade. Escapade? Not escapade. Escapade. I'm losing my shit trying to figure this out. Just in disbelief, that's all. Good times. What's happening? Who's on first? Repository permission levels for an organization. People with owner or team maintainer roles can manage repository access with teams. Each team can have a different repository access permission. There are 3 types of repository permission available for people or teams collaborating on repositories that belong to an organization: read, write, and admin. In addition, organization members with ownership permissions have extensive permissions across all repositories in an organization. For more information, please see permission levels for an organization. Repository actions: read permissions, write permissions, admin permissions, and owner permissions. Pull, promote, convert, create, delete, change repositories, visibility, transfer, add, remove, pull, push, fork, send, merge, pull, submit reviews that affect all pull requests, open issues, close, reopen, closed issues, apply labels, have an issue, create, edit, release, view draft, view publish releases, edit, delete, their own comments on commits, pull requests, edit, delete anyone's comments, delete, edit wikis, create statuses, manage topics. Now, don't mind all this other fun stuff at the bottom. Changing repository settings, adding repository team. Warning. Hold on, before I get to my point that I was just about to make after reading that ridiculous list, and we'll kind of verify. Oh yes, good, fun, look at all the stuff. Alright, good. Yes, more X's. Yay, differences, right? Cool. Hold that thought. Warning, when someone adds a deploy key to a repository, any user who has the private key can read from or write to the repository, depending on the key settings, even if they're later removed from the organization. Remember who you give keys to. Warning. Right? Okay. So, with that said, that's also a great thing. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We still have tabs 10 and 11 to review. Essentially zero idea what GitHub did, how to use it, and all that other fun stuff prior to today. In general, I realized there was the master projects, people pull from it and add to it, and there's many shades in between. But taking the time, and it's straightforward, it's not like it's a secret or anything, but taking the time to understand at a deep level the basics. That's right, that's not even like, I'm not talking about the a deep understanding of the advanced stuff. Although this would probably seem incredibly deep level, but it's all incredibly basic things, straightforward. But mastering level 1, master level novice, this is what I like doing. Before I've even started my first Git project or anything, just like sort of Codecademy, I still have yet to do side projects, is having a deep understanding of what to do. I'd mentioned earlier, Magic, I spent went on like an 8.5 hour binge of learning, and the first 4 hours was just reading the instructions. By the end of it, I walked away. It's a deck building game, obviously, and they go through the tutorial on how to do stuff, but they really don't explicitly explain. You really have to take the time to develop a good understanding of all the different dynamics at play before you can make an effective deck. Obviously, you can just throw shit together and, hope for the best. But there's the balance of the mana cards versus the actual creature and spell cards and all that fun stuff. So, back to this, though. That's why I'm digging through all this. Now I have an incredible understanding, far more, that this is really all the fun stuff, the nuances of how one can use GitHub to its fullest, and things to be aware of. And I know I haven't even started, but that means when I go to create something now, even if it's my first time creating everything, I can keep all of this stuff in mind. It's kind of planning for the long term, investing more effort up front to leverage that. Kind of like why NASA times their launches. There's an optimum time to try and leave, go to the moon. They've got the perfect weather and the right wind conditions and all that stuff, and everything lines up. If you just take the time, I know that's kind of ridiculous analogy, but you can get a lot further and closer to your goal if leaving the Earth is your objective. There's a right way to do it. And if you've got a certain goal or objective, there's a right way to do it, the most effective way. And that goes across all categories of life. But that's why I'm going through and reading all of this stuff And yeah, it's just a thing that I've just done. I don't know why, but kind of my jam. But anywho, where'd we leave off after the warning? Adding a repository to a team maintainers, change the team's name, description, basic stuff. See, that's all really straightforward stuff. Outside collaborators, which we know never to trust with private keys. Not quite, but just be mindful of that. Restricting people from creating repositories. By default, all organization members can create repositories for the organization if you choose. You can restrict repository creation permissions to organization owners only. Warning, members of that team that had admin permissions under the legacy organization membership structure will still be able to create repositories for the organization under improved organization permissions, even if the repository creation setting is not enabled. For more information, see migrating your previous admin teams to the improved organization permissions. Top right, we're clicking things. We'll do it. Top right corner, click your profile. Yes. 2 on the left side of your page under organizations. Organization stuff. Under your organization name, click settings. Cool. In the left sidebar, member privileges. Under repository creation, deselect allow members to create repositories. Members to create repositories. Yeah, good. Deleting repositories. Organization owners can delete any repositories in an organization. Organization members can delete repositories for which they have admin privileges. Further reading, blah, blah, and blah. Cool. Alright, removing yourself from an organization. If you're an outside collaborator or a member of an organization, you can leave the organization at any time. Warning, if you're currently responsible for paying GitHub in your organization, removing yourself from the organization does not update the billing information on the file for the organization. If you're currently responsible for billing, you must have another owner or billing manager for the organization. Either update your organization's credit card on file, update your organization's PayPal account on file. For information, see transferring organization ownership in the upper right corner of the page. Click your profile. So it really seems like having an organization, there is money involved. We are looking for free options. In your sidebar, click organizations and 3 organizations, but that's okay. If we ever need to make the jump, at least I have the knowledge and understanding now in hindsight, which we will be appreciative of. Viewing people's roles in an organization. Note, you must be an organization member to see people's roles in your organization. You can create a list of people, blah, 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 filter by their roles, cool. Really just focusing on Steven, but if I ever need to collaborate with people, I know where and how I can do that. Your profile. On the left side of your page, under organizations, click the icon, your organization name, click people, got profile, organization, huzzah. People, and you will see a list of people in your organization to filter the list by role. Filter by role. Role filtered. Alright, well, that's about as much fun as I can handle. Holy hell. Close. GitHub help. We're going to close that. Still there. Can you believe it? Get back to this. We're going to leave that there as I'm still continuing signing in. I'm going to do Help set up an organization. Continue to set up an organization. Organization name. The organization will live at github.com/ Ooh. The username that I chose was BDX Inc., but we want the organization to live at BDX. Username may only contain alphanumeric characters, single hyphens. Death. It's been taken. What if we do a hyphen? Son of. Not cool, bro. Not cool. That's ridiculous. How do I want to do that? I have to invite members? What the deuce? What if I don't want to invite members? Yeah da da dee 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 yeah da 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 dee 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 da dee 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 dee. GitHub organizations give your team repository management, fine-grained permissions, and a focused dashboard. That's cool. The credit card and plan you choose will be billed to the organization, not your user account, BDX Inc. You know, BDX Inc. Git. Trying to think what's better for Google and such. What if? What if I do DDX coding? Because we've already got it elsewhere. And it makes sense. Is there a difference between coding and programming? I don't think there is. It's all the same, at least in my mind. Is there a difference? Coding versus programming. What's the difference between coding and programming? It means they're all the same. Sorry, there's no big bang explanation here. In the end, whether you're scripting, coding, or programming, you're providing some environment, a PC, robot, or browser, a set of instructions on what tasks it needs to perform. Yeah, good, cool. Alright. Battle of the terms. Yeah, then why would I trust the Huffington Post, right? I mean, that's just retarded. Okay. Not that I have anything against them, but I mean, if the first thing on Google says something entirely different than Huffington Post, I don't know. They can humor us. Let's see. Uh, I don't believe they're deep in the coding and programming scene. If the first 4 things on their site are news, politics, entertainment, and lifestyle. Although under news, granted, they do have tech, but let's see what they have under there. Well, the fact that their first thing is regarding emojis isn't really... That's kind of proving my point. Definitely not helping their cause. Yeah. Good. Why I haven't deleted my Uber yet. TV ad isn't going anywhere, it's going everywhere. Yeah, none of this is, really integral to actually coding and programming, so we're gonna laugh that away. And with that said, coding is shorter than programming, which is why I chose that. Additionally, in planning, for the scheme of things, although this doesn't really show it well, they've got all the different sections: auto, moto, racing, music, movies, shows, gaming, coding, learning. Yeah, after Codecademy, Duolingo, and other things. Tech, food, and little kitty loves Klipsch. Yeah. He's sleeping right now, but she loves jumping on the Klipsch towers, my speakers. Alright, so with that said, I think I'm gonna do coding, because that's, I mean, GitHub is the main place where that's gonna happen. Just also, see, right, although I don't think I have it, but I need to add for all of my videos, both on Twitch and YouTube, I need to add another hashtag in addition to BDX Inc., or even remove BDX Inc., but have hashtag BDX Coding. So, we're going to claim BDX Coding as our organization, since BDX Inc. has already been taken, but we're going to take that as a sign, BDX hyphen Inc., but we haven't used hyphens for anything. It's either BDX space Inc., BDX Inc. is one word, or BDX underscore Inc., which is the preferred. Because when you throw BDX underscore Inc. into the Google search bar, all my stuff dominates the front page, which is awesome for the results. Yeah. I think I've got like the first page and a half of results when you throw in BDX underscore Inc. And then that's for all search, or yeah, the all tab on Google. But when you do videos for BDX underscore Inc., it shows like I've got like the first 6 full pages of results. There's nothing else except for my content, which is awesome. Good times, right? So let's do BDX coding. Ta-da, ya-da-da-da-da-da. Billing email. Yada-da-da-dee-dee-dee. Also, this is what it's been like setting up everything. Like, my nitty-gritty research, that's what I did for WordPress, and Twitch, and YouTube, and Twitter, and Tumblr, and Facebook, and Google, and like all this stuff reading through all the user agreements and like setting up the tax forms and other stuff. Since I'm doing the live stream now, I'm probably not going to go through and immediately set up right now all the profile stuff. If I had gone to GitHub before the stream, I would have set up all the profile stuff in depth, checking out all the settings and blah blah blah. But I'll do that after the stream. So, but in the meantime, still research first. That way we know what to set up. All right, I'm continuing setting up the organization. We're going to do the free plan, organization, free, unlimited user and public repositories. Now, we set up the user. You're signed in as BDX Inc. Your profile, your stars, explore, integration, help, settings, sign out. GitHub organizations, BDX coding, billing email. There's that. Choose your plan. Free, unlimited users and public repositories. Organization starts at $25 a month, which includes your first 5 users. $9 per user per month. Unlimited public repositories, unlimited private repositories. We're going to do create organization with the free plan. So at least we're claiming the name. Think. Let's do, can I do me? Can I invite myself? Maybe I don't need to invite myself. Organization members. See all repositories. Members have read access to all of the organization repositories. You can change this access in the organization settings. Don't mind me. I'm going to change the screen since I am making progress. Next. That way you're not staring into the abyss. Does it still show? It does still show. Ah, me. Good. Right. I've got a separate browser open if you guys haven't figured that out by now. See all repositories, create repositories, organize into teams, review code, communicate via mentions. As an organization owner, you'll have complete access to all of the organization's repositories and have control of what members have access using fine-grained permissions. You'll be able to change billing info and cancel organization plans. Learn more. We already have learned more. See that? We're ahead of the curve now. Doesn't feel like it, probably because we're behind, but our trajectory is aiming towards being ahead of the curve, right? That's probably just wishful thinking. Regardless, members will receive their invitation via email. They can also visit github.com/bdxinccoding or bdxcoding to accept the invitation right away. Cool. So, let's copy the link. And let's try, can I invite myself? BDX Inc. Already in the organization. Damn straight. Party up in here. Continue. Just me. Line solo. Please verify your email address to access all of GitHub's features. An email containing verification instructions was sent to blah. My email address. BDX Inc. Inbox. About to get all kinds of verify up in here. Promos? No? Why is it so slow? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, apparently his powers were slightly over-exaggerated. That's a Family Guy reference. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, we're finding that verify email somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. GitHub. Verify. Help us secure your GitHub account by verifying. Yeah, you don't. Hashtag verified. Boom. Learn Git and GitHub without any code. Use the Hello World guide. You'll create a repository, start a branch, write comments, and pull requests. Let's wait to read the guide. Yeah. And let's go back and let's also do, you've been made the owner of the BDX coding organization. You've been granted admin access to BDX coding. Admins have full rights to the organization and have complete access to all repositories and teams. View all BDX coding admins here. Read more about the organization permissions there, which we've done both. See, we were going to have to cross these bridges anyways, guys. Who was right? Doesn't feel like a win. And that's because it wasn't. Yep. Soul crushing. In the best way possible. Alright. Something about something. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Still coding, get back to coding, get back to coding, yada da 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 da. What's actually happening now? We need to go back to GitHub. Organization details. We're collecting data to help us understand how people use GitHub organizations. We'd appreciate if you'd share a little about your plans for this organization with us. This step is optional, and the data will only be used for research purposes. Skip this step to opt out. What do you plan to use your organization for? What do you plan to use your organization for? This for Pinky and the Brain, the answer would be planning to take over the world. But it's not. It's close, but not quite there yet. What do you plan to do for your organization? Professional work, for-profit, professional work, non-profit, including education program. Or can we select multiple open source project? Hell yeah. Hobby projects. Really? You can only choose one? Hackathon. Not sure yet. Other. Please describe. Yeah, we're gonna go with not sure yet. How long do you plan to use this organization? Just a few days? Who the hell is setting this up for just days? A few weeks to a month, a year or more? Indefinitely. Not sure yet. Other. I kind of want to say indefinitely, but since they've got the I'm not sure yet option, This is like the multiple choice questions in school. It's choose the best answer. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's truly the right answer or 100% accurate, which I always found frustrating, but it's the one that best fits or is closest to describing almost 100% of the correct answer. Choose the best answer. Never like that. How about about how many people do you expect to work with in this organization? I freaking plan to work alone, but 5 or fewer, probably less. 6 to 20, 21 to 50, more than 50. Yet again, they've got the I'm not sure yet option, so I'm going to go with that, and we're going to submit. Enjoy my ambiguous data. Good, good. Organization has no repositories. Yeah, you don't. Alright, let's back the close out of help. Close out of Gmail. Close out of EDX coding. Something. Close. Okay. We are finally nearing the end. Holy hell. This has been painful. It was supposed to be easy. We thought this was be a quick stream. No. Nothing. Not in my book. Not in my book. Alright, they've got this handy guide page thing, copy. I want to see if it's what comes up, or if this is what comes up over here. They've got like a readme guide. Aha! Nice. Also, look at this. Oh, doesn't show it. Well, close enough. EDX coding. Woohoo! Right? Right? Okay, good. So with that said, we're going to close out of that other window. Finally, back into action, kind of. We're going to look at Learn Git and GitHub without any code. Using the Hello World guide, you'll create a repository, start a branch, write comments, and open a pull request. There is some other thing. They wanted us to create a new repository plus repository name user. I can't believe we're on section 2. No, we made it to like section 3 or 4. Although technically we are on section 2 because we haven't even done this yet in GitHub, so. Ooh. Right. Nice. Done. So that's what we're going to be doing. Yet again, before that, read the guide. The fun never stops. Hello World, 10-minute read. Do I really want to read this right now? I think I will spare you guys, and I will deal with this later. This is just a guide. We're gonna leave that for me to deal with in my own personal... Look at this, we're gonna... This is what Evernote's for. We have to sign into Evernote. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Meh. Why is there so much stuff? Why do I have so many things to do? Typical. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, da 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 da. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Close. Let's see. Flippin'. Save. Ta-da. Okay. That's saved. This is closed out of. My god, this has been a long stream. And of just nothingness, too. That's an impressive skill, really. Through the read guide, start a project. What happens if I click start a project? No? I clicked, but I'm just gonna stick with the create new. We are gonna go back to following. Yes, close that. We're gonna close out of view. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Wow, I cannot get that out of my head. Nor should I. There's a lack of DuckTales in this millennia. Do. They said we'll watch it again. The 33 seconds of fun. Move in, go up, plus create new repository. We are going to name it whatever our username is / our username again .github.io. Description, my personal website. My is capitalized, personal website lowercase, one space between each, and public. We are going to do exactly that right now. Plus new repository. Repository name BDX Inc. Great repository names are short and memorable. Need inspiration? How about shiny Fortnite? Are you kidding me? Although I do actually. The idea of that is fun. I like both of those things individually. Description. It was my personal website. You know what this stream will be good for? Falling asleep to. If you can't sleep at night, anyone's captured this, this is the stream to put you to sleep, because nothing has happened for well over an hour. So, you know, just saying. Sleep is important. This is a community service I am providing for planet Earth and the future. For those with insomnia, you are welcome. I want to hit create repository because that's what they did in the video. Again, in your browser, create a new repository in your GitHub account and name it accordingly to the GitHub pages naming conventions, as in the example above. Yo. GitHub.io. That was very close, right? GitHub.io. No, we forgot it because we went on that ridiculous tangent. Totally lost sight of everything. Username .github.io. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna do exactly that. We got my website down. We got the private, none. Don't worry about the checkbox for the README. See, this is why measure twice, cut once, or in my case, measure 3, 4, 6, 8 times, and then if there's time to cut, go for it. But just measure your heart out, dude. Dudette, whatever you prefer. Bear. bdxinc.github.io. Yeah, you don't. None and none, unchecked. Create repository, fire away. That was a long time coming. How long have we been streaming for? Let's focus on that. It took Steven. It says an hour and 56 minutes and 28 seconds. So 2 hours for me to get through step 1. The first 2 steps of the second section. 2 hours of research time. I've got a freakish understanding of how GitHub works, especially the user roles and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that means anything to anyone else. I don't even know if it means anything to me, but that really points, this truly highlights what I am, and what BDX Inc. is. So when you hear me ranting about things in the future, you know why. This is day 1. I plan on spending lots of time utilizing GitHub and blah blah blah. And I will just dive in like others. But this is my prep just to dive in. I researched for I don't know, it was well over a year before I got those speakers. And I've had them for 2 years, and I also just spent a solid month. It's probably been 3 months now. Well, it was 6 months ago when I did this, but after the 2-year mark, after having them for 2 years, I then spent a month trying to, because I'd been doing more audio research, just getting a better understanding of all the components after having them, redoing all the research that I had done before to spot check and correct things, setup settings and other things like that. For some reason I decided to figure out and improve why they were terrible, or why they might be considered terrible, and all I could come back with is that it was a great buy for me in my situation. That was the big push, is that everyone's got a different speaker. Getting speakers is an incredibly personal decision for you and your environment. Focus on your room environment more than the actual speakers you're looking for. We'll save that tangent for a whole nother day. But yeah, I do this level of research for everything. It's brutal. Alright, are we still there? Get back to coding in red. On to section 3. Right? Alright? He knows what's up. Achieving the terminal. The black abyss we are now staring into. Good. Section 3. Great. Now that you've created a repository with the proper naming convention, let's upload your site to GitHub. We'll use Git to upload the contents of your website's directory to the new repository. To do so, we'll first initialize a Git repository in your site's directory. 1. In the terminal to the right, open a new tab. then use the cd command to navigate to your site's directory. Again, this is the same shit from yesterday. No one knows what to do. CD. Look it, bro. The P, we'll do, what was it? PWD. DAW. CD. DAW. I don't know. DAW, no such file exists. CD. Personal website. Cool. Green check. Yeah. One down. Now that you're inside of your site's directory, initialize a Git repository with the following command. Git initialize. Git initialize. Initialize empty Git repository in home CC user workspace DAW personal website .git on to section 4. Next, Git needs to know what repo you will store your site's content. What repo will store your site's content? In this case, the repo will be one you created on GitHub earlier. To specify the repo using Git, we'll have to add the remote and label it as the origin. 1. Remote is the URL of the repository that will store your site's contents. 2. The origin is the alias for your remote. For the remote. You can think of it as an alias, as an abbreviation. You can think of an alias as an abbreviation or substitute name. This means that instead of having to always type the lengthy remote URL over and over again, you can simply refer to it as origin later on. In the terminal, you can add the remote with the following command. Git remote add origin https github.yourname your user something .github.io.git. In the example above, github username.io is the remote URL that refers to your repository you created on GitHub. Again, you would replace username with your actual GitHub username. Make sure that your remote's URL is typed correctly, otherwise you risk a failed deploy. Instructions in the terminal. Add the remote that points to the repository you created earlier. Use the example above to help you. Important. If you accidentally make a mistake when adding the remote URL, you can start over and remove the remote with the following command. Git remote remove origin. That again, we talked about an hour and a half ago as we were digging through the stupid community forum thingy. The ridiculous help, and I had noted how in past ones they give the first instruction in the actual learn section. Here, they have code, a command, listed in step 1, and this is part of the important if you fail, but step 1 is to use the stuff like, come on, right? This is why you're getting so many headaches in the damn community section. Just drop this down into section 1. I'm pretty sure this is why they invented cigarettes. Not that I smoke, but this seems like an opportune time if one were to. Because this is beyond frustrating. This bit, not the actual the where the instructions are located, not what we're actually doing. Notice we've doubled our progress from section. It took 2 hours to get to section 2 and like 2 minutes to get to section 4. So, there's that. This is more frustrating than me reading the 11 tabs of organization permissions or user permissions. So, food for thought, if anyone's listening. Just a thing. Alright. What am I doing? What now? In the terminal, you can add one. In the terminal, add the remote that points to your repository you created earlier. Use the example above to help. In the terminal, you can add the remote with the following command, blah 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 blah. Use your username. In the example above, username blah refers to what you used earlier. Replace this with that. We're going to see GitHub, BDXinc. What's this? Is this copy? Copy to clipboard. Copied. Nice. Okay. And I should have done... Oh, that's okay. Well, we'll type it out. Git remote. Yeah, there's an R. My mind's tripping. I'm gonna just copy everything, paste. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna copy this bit. Well, Command V, Command Z. What? Command Z doesn't work? And I should have just moved the cursor back and copied stuff, but screw it, right? Nobody cares. Git remote add-in. It comes from the HTTPS. We have the space. Copy. Paste. There's the space. Copied. Back again. Drop in. That is as good can get. BDXinc. .git. And we hit run. We let it chill. Green checkbox. 2. Confirm that the remote was successfully added by typing the following command. Git remote -v. This command lists all the Git remotes and their corresponding URLs. Git remote -v. Enter. Origin, https github.bdx/bdx github.io git fetch. Origin, https github.bdxinc.github.io git push. Cool. Good. This is what fun looks like. Gritty, soul crushing, stuttering. The glory of failure and frustration. Love it. Section 5. Making progress. Alright, we're almost there. Git also needs to know exactly which files should be pushed to your repository. In this case, we want to push all of your site's content to your repository. This means we will do one of the following 2 things in order. 1, add all of your site's content to the Git staging area. 2, commit save your changes. 1, add all of your Git site content using the following Git command, git add period. Git add period. Boom. Fire. Green checkbox. Save your changes using the git commit command and following the commit message. And the following commit message. Save my work. If they want that, then I'm just going to copy their thing. Git commit -m. Save my work. Enter. Nice. Look at that. 20 files changed. 819 insertions. Giggity. Create mode, ignore, config, footers, icons, Twitter stuff, feeds and XMLs and other knickknacks and doodads. Let's go to section 6, right? Hell yeah. It's time to deploy your site. Once again, we'll use GitHub to deploy your site. This time, we'll use git's push command to push the contents of your site up to your repo using the following command: git push -u origin master. I totally blanked even though I just read that. This time we'll use git's push command and push the contents of your site up to your repository using the following command: git push -u origin master. Okay. Instructions. You know when you're playing Forza and there's the damn arrows and like you just, or even if the arrows aren't there, even if you aren't playing with the tracking mode or whatever the hell the arrows do, but there's the color of the tiles and you're just following the gray of the tarmac or concrete, whatever you want to call it, and there's the green on the scenery or whatever environment you're racing through, and you just kind of zone out when you're racing. It's mainly for longer racing games when there's lots of laps, and it's like a couple laps will go by and you realize that you've totally zoned out. You actually haven't been focused. You're racing rather well. It's like 88% of your best skill, maybe even higher, could be as high as 96. I mean, you're in the moment, but when you look back on it, you're like, I haven't been 100% conscious and focused on it. That's kind of what I feel like right now. I am reading and pulling in this information, but I can feel myself getting loopy and like I'm just absorbing content. Like bowling with bumpers, you know? I know I'm going to end up in the right area, no matter how much I bounce off. That's all. Venting. Section 6 of 7, we're so close to being done. Okay. My lips. So chapped. Instructions. In the terminal, push the contents of your site to your repository. You can use the example above to help you. Wait until the terminal stops outputting information. Once the terminal has stopped, continue to the next exercise. Note, you'll be prompted to enter your GitHub credentials before you can push, i.e. username and password. As you put in your password, you'll notice that no text will be visible as you type. This is how all terminals work as an added security measure. Be aware that although your password is not visible, the terminal is still accepting your input. Simply hit enter on your keyboard after you are done typing your invisible password. If you typed it incorrectly, simply try again. Finally, if you have two-factor authentication enabled for your GitHub account, this exercise will not pass for you. In that case, check out this resource. The two-factor authentication is one of those many additional things that I would set up in my account had I had set it up prior to the stream. One of the things that I'll be setting up after the account, or after the stream. So, all those fun additional features. Yeah, good. So, I won't have that issue right now, fortunately. Let's go to... What am I actually typing in? Is it just this? God, I hope it's just that. Copy. Time to deploy your site. Once again, we'll use the git deploy your site. We'll use git to help deploy. This time we'll use the git push command. Contents for your site using the following command. Again, this is the actual instruction, the actual trigger, yet it's above the actual instruction area. Someone please tell somebody. Someone take note of this. Why? Please help. All you're doing is confusing your users. 1. In the terminal, push the contents of your site. You can use the example above to help you. Yeah, or you can use this right here. Just like how this says you can use the following command, blah. Way easier, but whatever. Wait until the terminal stops outputting information. Once the terminal stops, click to continue to the next exercise. You will be prompted to enter your GitHub credentials before you can push. Yeah, I don't know, because it just says push now. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Is it because I tried to copy that? I did it twice. It's just really slow. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Why is it so slow? Something is wrong. Backing up to master. R. Okay, git push -u origin master. Normally I'd type, but we've spent so much time and so much effort, I'd rather just copy the text they have and minimize the risk. Hopefully. Username, which was BDX Inc. Username, enter. Password next. Secret silent password. Dun, dun. Okay. Magic password entered, although invisible, still there. Supposedly hit enter. Counting something, counting objects. Ephemeral Talon Lotus, learning Git. Yeah, learning Git. Deploying a website now with the assistance of Jekyll and GitHub. It's been a friggin' nightmare. I'm like 2.5 hours deep, and I made it way harder for myself by like reading all the user guides that GitHub has to offer before just like throwing up the repository and connecting it here from Codecademy to the GitHub pages. So, but it's been good. We made it through. I'm actually nearing the end of my stream right now. I'm just trying to connect the final dots. So we had username, password, counting objects, 27, whatever the hell that is. Delta compression, something about 3 threads. 100%, that's always good. 25 out of 25. Writing objects, more 100%. No issues. Resolving deltas. HTTPS GitHub BDX Inc. GitHub.io.git. New branch. Master to master. Branch master set up to track remote branch master from origin. All looks well in the neighborhood. Nice. Think it's bad now. Wait till you learn about DevOps. Yeah, I can't wait. That's the other thing. I was yammering to myself for the last 2 hours that this is the easy part. I take it. I know this is the easy part. So yeah, can't wait for actually difficult issues, or can't wait to come across difficult issues. That should be all kinds of fun. Hey, you waking up? Come on. No. Come to me, cat. Yes. Good kitty. How was your nap? You missed me coding for like 2.5 hours. It was pure hell. It was just me signing up for GitHub. Yeah, that was the hard part. No? You're good? You're gone? Okay. She's gone. Section 7. Aha! Success. For section 2 at least. What does it say? New lesson complete. Deployed the site. So, what are the final bits? Topher, hey, what's up? Literally just finished. I've been streaming for like 2.5 hours and it was absolute hell, kind of. There's like, the VOD will be posted soon, but there was like 2 minutes of coding, like an hour and a half or 2 hours of me learning about GitHub, reading through like, oh god, user guides and stuff like that. Don't mind me, cat. I love you. And yeah, but I got the site up. I connected the dots. It was brutal. Yesterday was terrible. I think I missed something. I was supposed to change one of the directories. Actually, you know what? I may go back to section 1 and try and reconnect the dots because it was bad. It was just, there was so much confusion. If confusion were people, I'd be China. That's how confused I was. Anywho, fantastic. You now have your site published on the public internet. You can now navigate to your newly published website in your preferred browser. The URL for your GitHub Pages site is your username.github.io, where your username is your actual GitHub username. Let's review what you accomplished in this unit. 1. Create GitHub account. 2. Create the required GitHub repository. 3. Use GitHub to add, commit, and push your website to the repository. 4. Successfully use GitHub Pages to deploy your site to the internet. Note that your site's URL matches your repository's name, a GitHub Pages requirement. But what if you want to change your URL to a custom URL? In the next unit, you'll learn how to keep your site hosted on GitHub, but change the URL to something besides the GitHub Pages default. Instructions. Take a look at the diagram to the right. In this unit, you successfully accomplish the second step, deploying your current site to the internet using GitHub Pages. Currently, the URL to your site is the GitHub Pages default URL. In the next unit, we'll move to a third step, assigning a custom URL to your site. Post the GitHub site link in chat. Yeah, man, we will do that. We will take this, I think, from what they said, what was it? HTTP something or other? No, it's just that.io. Let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, link coming in hot. Get ready. How do I want to do this? I will open. This is gonna get all kinds of inception-y on us. Going to my Twitch chain, or my Twitch channel. We're gonna have Steven on Steven. Hopefully it doesn't just like start blaring a commercial. We've got it muted. Oh, and the bandwidth usage. Hopefully stream to cut out. If it does, we're at the end. Throwing in chat. Oh, there's all kinds of confusion. GitHub, boom. Oh yeah, look at that. That is. We're gonna pause that. Hopefully that helps. Did the link go in? The link went in. I'm gonna back out of that. Open browser. Did it work? I don't know if there's an actual web page, because in the first, I don't think that link is doing anything, guys. I'm 43% sure that is a broken link. I'm checking. Paste. Search. Yeah, I don't believe that that's actually functioning right now. Something about throwing it into Google. Maybe that's my issue. Something about GitHub and liberal cats. I don't know. There's only 2 links that come up when I throw it in. I'll show you. This is what I see. No, link deleted. Not linked. Just .io. Not. Oh, yeah. That. Oh, just .io, not Git. Yes. Don't mind me. That's just me being a big dumb idiot. So paste Try that. Huh? Let's click. Click fest. Aha! Look at that. Your awesome title. Welcome to Jekyll. Boom. It worked for me. Nice. I birthed a website. How you like that? You see that little kid? You're asleep again. Oh my god. All you do is nap. You sleepy feline. Cool. So, that said, we're going to drop this in. Get rid of Git. Does it work? Success. Damn. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. That company's using Indian Ocean domain. Nice, it works. Success. Yeah, that was a victory. Write an awesome description for your new site here. You can edit this line, config YAML. It will appear in your document head meta for Google search results and in your feed XML site description. Very nice. Good. Well, that's that. Good times. Honestly, for the actual like coding bit, you made it at the end of the stream, but really it was me connecting the dots. The bulk of it, the first like 1, 2, 3 pages was signing up for GitHub. It was creating a new repository, throwing in a couple lines of information, and then once that was set up, then it was actually moving into the directory to personal website, initializing git initialize, and then throwing in the actual link. Well, adding all of it, committing it, and then pulling the trigger, push git _u origin master. So that's that. That was seriously, that was like the whole stream. Well, that was all of the coding. The bulk of it was me going through all the user guides like this for GitHub. I'd go, what is GitHub? And blah, 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 and click this link, and I'd type into everything. I was trying to figure out whether to create a personal account or an organization account, and I decided to create an organization account, planning ahead for the future, right? You never know when you need an organization account. So that's it. Okay. Take a look at the diagram to the right. In this unit, you successfully accomplished the second step, deploying your site to the internet. Currently, your URL is blah. We'll move to the third step, assigning a custom URL. Way cool. So step 2, create GitHub account, create a required GitHub repository. Use Git to add, commit, and push changes. Successfully deployed your site to the internet. Git commit push u.github.io with cat. And now we'll be on to step 3, u.github.io. Up next, let's at least get to the next section. But as usual, stream's basically over. Assign a custom domain name to your website. Use Amazon's web services. Hell yes. Can't wait to learn about that. I've got that tab open on my phone. Look at this, right? You all think I'm crazy. Well, I am, but boom, look at that. See? Amazon something or other. Oh, it's refreshing. Hold on. There we go. Amazon Web Services. You thought I was crazy and lying, but I'm just crazy. So yeah, Amazon Web Services. Can't wait to learn about it. At least I'm excited to learn about it. Good. What do we actually learn? Use Amazon Web Services to purchase I ain't spending a nickel. Well, I might, but I've really been trying to build my tiny empire with all free resources, which I've done rather well at so far, in my opinion. Purchase a custom domain name and assign it to your personal website. Start lesson. We'll read this a little bit and back out. In the last unit, you deployed your site and GitHub Pages assigned your site a default URL or domain name. In this unit, you'll purchase your own custom domain name and assign it to your GitHub Pages website. At the end of the unit, you'll be able to access your site using both your new domain name and your default GitHub Pages domain name. Hell yeah. Alright. Looks like we're going to be calling Sue and some dude named Bob and something about Codecademy. Nice. Let's back out here. This brings us to 66% of the way through the course for deploying a website, and then, which means when we finish this tomorrow, then we get to tackle Python. Look at it, right on the edge. Deploy a website, 66, Python, right there. It's gonna be epic. We'll check out where we ended for today. Profile, 377 points. View my profile. And we end the day with 56 badges. Nice. Alright, I think that's everything. Cool. So, I am done for today. Thank you for those who did up towards the end. I appreciate the assistance and support, as always. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Possibly. Who knows? I'll be here for a year. Dum dum dum. You done? You want to say bye, little cat? No? Alright, killing the stream. Stop stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.